Yeah. So I want to know, guys. One, do you all like rom-coms?
Yeah, I would say one of my favorite movies. Type of movie is a rom-com.
What is one of your favorite movies?
No, one of my favorite types of movies.
Oh, genres. Yeah. I would say the same thing.
And like they're because it's a movie where you can feel unbiased. Right? It's just indifferent. I never have a dog in the fight in a rom-com.
I know. Yeah. You know what? I'll get to that.
You can just relax and just watch it happen.
What about you, Joe?
Yeah, that's probably well said. I think you might have persuaded me over to the A side because I'll tell you what, man, I definitely got on this like no thanks string for quite some time.
For rom-coms?
Yeah. But like there are quite a few, as you said that come to mind where I'm like, that's a good point. That's exactly why I like that movie, right?
Okay.
It's one of the few that you can just enjoy. But overall, dude, if I got a choice, I ain't watching it.
Okay, well, all right. If you had to pick a favorite one, what would it be?
You're just a doorman.
What is that?
Oh, doorman. What
You're
movie?
just a doorman.
What movie
What
is that?
movie is that?
You're a doorman, okay? You're a doorman.
Knocked Up.
That's it. That's exactly right.
Doorman.
Knocked
She
up.
kept saying that.
Yeah, doorman.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I think that this is Knocked Up is a raunchy rom-com. It's not a traditional romantic comedy. But my favorite one isn't a traditional romantic comedy either.
Wedding Crashers?
Yeah. It's not. But it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it is absolutely hilarious.
That is a great movie.
Super cast.
Yeah. It is a super cast.
Yeah.
A super pint. Mega pint. I keep saying that.
One of my favorites would probably be Maid of Honor.
Maid of Honor. Okay.
Yeah. Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Typical.
Yeah. What's her name?
I don't know her name.
She's in Heartbreak Kid.
Is that her? Oh, that's her.
That's her.
Yeah,
yeah.
that is her. Yep.
She's in Heartbreak. But yeah, now here's the thing. Here's the thing with rom-coms. They give us this picture. That's the rom-coms and all of these like romance movies, which I like rom-coms because rom-coms tend to move more towards reality.
Yeah.
When it comes to relationships, but they still have that overarching Hollywood stench to what a relationship is like.
Well, definitely fairy tale kind of.
Yeah, and it creates this disillusionment when it comes to the ideas of marriage, and that's what we want to talk about in this first installment of Biblical Manhood. We want to talk about manhood from the perspective of marriage, and then also I'm gonna walk through marriage a little bit and certain aspects of marriage that we need to be reminded of and called to, and then we're going to talk about headship in that. But staying with marriage a little bit, it creates this disillusionment where you're either living out the best years of your singleness, whatever. And then if someone is single, then the typical plot is that, their friends are getting married. They're at that age, they get married. And I want to get married. I want my someone. And then you go through this, time of tumult where things are just always changing and nothing's the same. And things bring you a lot of anxiety and stress. And then you meet this someone and you guys have all this stuff in common. Typically, the things that you have in common make you hate each other first. And then you realize, there you were all along. you had me at hello. You had me at hello. And you live happily ever after because you're living happily ever after because you found someone who genuinely wants you to be happy. And you want them to be happy. Now, I'm not sounding like a pessimist, but humans be sinning in their hearts too. Now, here's a spoiler alert. They still be doing it after they get married.
Yeah.
So how does one deal with that? And I think that all of the things that we see in Hollywood is a result when it real life Hollywood, like these actors and actresses who get married 17 times because they're looking for that someone. And then there's this one, moment when they're in the Hamptons and, they just made a movie together and they're laughing and, on the yacht. And then after 6 months, it's like, I don't really like you anymore. So how do we deal with that? Now, how do men deal with marriage? What is our view of marriage? I'm not here trying to address every issue with the way we view marriage. I specifically want to talk to Christian men who live in a pagan world about marriage. And not only that, all the different things that the baggage of our eyes and our heart that we bring into our thoughts about marriage. Because we live in a society that essentially degrades women.
Right.
Even the part of society that seeks to empower women. It's degrading, ultimately, from a biblical perspective. We live in a highly pornographic society. We live in a society where women are ultimately objects. In our music, in our movies, women are meant to be eye candy for our lives, for our pleasure. And so you look for a woman on the basis of her looks only. I'm not saying it's wrong to, be attracted to attractive women. But that's the stuff that we have to deal with. How do we deal with that? How do we address it biblically? And the very fact that reality is what makes women think that it's good to be promiscuous, or it's good to have their faces looking like a Mr. Potato Head even though they're 65.
Or even necessary.
Yeah. But not only that, I was making that face, Darren, when you said maid of honor, because that starts pushing the envelope as far as challenging what the role looks like, right? The movie role, because it's like you have a man who's the maid of honor, right? And it was I like that movie. They're in Ireland, right, or something like that. Scotland, even better. But movies now today, because I still try to seek out rom-coms and they're trash.
Yeah,
they're really trash.
I think Adam Sandler has the hold on.
Yeah,
rom-coms.
Yeah, my favorite. I think my favorites are Adam Sandler ones outside of Wedding Crashers. But
all the newer ones are garbage.
But not only that, they think it's cool where the woman pursues the man. Yeah. And I'm not trying to sound misogynistic, but I just don't resonate with that. The whole picture of it, right? The whole picture is the woman, she maybe has this fling with a man, and the man catches feelings, and ultimately the woman chooses career or something like that over the man, and the man is sent brokenhearted while the woman comes running through the airport, chasing down the man who is just so dejected and brokenhearted to find him and apologize and profess her love for him, and in some movies even propose. And what I'm saying is I just don't resonate with such beta activity.
Yeah.